Has anyone tried to sabotage you? I'd been working at this small marketing company for almost 3 years when weird stuff started happening. My design files would disappear from our shared drives. Campaign data would get changed overnight, and somehow I kept getting blamed for mistakes I knew I didn't make. At first, I thought it was just normal office chaos. You know how it is. People save over each other's work, servers crash, whatever. But then my boss, Mr. Grant, called me into his office one morning looking all serious. "Lucas, someone's been leaking client strategies to our competitors," he said, sliding a folder across his desk. Inside were screenshots and files, all showing my login credentials. My stomach dropped. I knew I hadn't done any of this stuff. "Sir, I swear this wasn't me," I said, but he just shook his head. "The evidence is pretty clear. Your account accessed these files at 11 p.m. last Tuesday. You sent them to this email address." He pointed to some address I'd never seen before. "I'm not firing you yet, but you're on thin ice." I left his office feeling sick. Someone was setting me up, but who and why? That night I couldn't sleep. I kept going over everyone in the office. There was Tom from accounting, but he barely knew how to use email. Janet from HR, but she was always super nice to me. And then there was Jenna from our design team. Jenna was always weird around me, super competitive about everything. She'd get mad if I got praise from clients or if my campaigns performed better than hers, but would she really try to get me fired? I decided to investigate. The next few days, I stayed late, checking access logs and watching who was still in the office. Most people left by 6 p.m., but I noticed Jenna's car in the parking lot until almost 8 p.m. every night. On Thursday, I pretended to leave but actually hid in the stairwell. Around 7:30, I saw her walk over to my desk. She looked around, then sat down at my computer. My heart was racing. I watched her plug in a USB drive and start copying files. The next morning, I checked the security footage. Sure enough, there she was, clear as day, using my computer when she thought everyone was gone. But I knew if I went to HR, she'd just deny everything. I needed better proof, so I came up with a plan. I created a fake project folder with completely made-up campaign data. I called it Operation Neon Dreams and filled it with the most ridiculous marketing ideas I could think of, like using bright pink elephants to sell insurance and having people dress up as giant hot dogs for a bank commercial. The centerpiece was this fake pitch for a car dealership where we'd use neon-colored cows wearing sunglasses in all the ads. I mean, it was completely insane. No real company would ever approve something like that. I saved everything under my login and waited. 2 days later, I got a call from my friend Mike, who works at our biggest competitor. "Dude, you won't believe what happened," he said, laughing. "We just had this client meeting where they pitched the weirdest campaign ever. They wanted to use neon cows with sunglasses to sell cars. Everyone in the room was trying not to laugh. My trap had worked. I printed out all the access logs, the security footage, and even got Mike to send me screenshots of the competitor's pitch. Everything was time-stamped perfectly. I walked into Mr. Grant's office the next morning with a thick folder. "Sir, I found out who's been leaking our files," I said, spreading everything across his desk. His eyes got wide as he looked through the evidence. The security footage of Jenna at my computer, the fake campaign showing up at our competitor, the timestamps proving she'd accessed my files right before the leaks. "Jesus," he muttered. "How long has this been going on?" "Probably months," I said. "She's been using my login to make it look like I was the one doing it." 20 minutes later, security was escorting Jenna out of the building. She kept yelling about how it wasn't fair and that I'd set her up, but the evidence was rock solid.